Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be in the Masters of the Wild for this video. We are continuing the Prestige class videos. We are on Watch Detective, which is the second to last Prestige class in this book. Okay, so let's read in and see what the Watch Detective is. We'll read what the skills and abilities are that with the requirements to get into being a Watch Detective. And then we will also look at the table and then the paragraphs describing the abilities on the table for leveling in the class. So, when thieves and murderers strike in the night, citizens always wonder whether anyone can track down the perpetrators and set things straight. When the Watch Detective is on the case, they can rest easy. The Watch Detective specializes in solving mysteries. Using a battery of clue ferreting skills and abilities, he evaluates and discards possibilities until only one remains, the truth. The rule of evidence to which he has ascribed, see sidebar, restrains him from using his gifts to gain the truth through unfair means, demanding that focus only on tangible facts as proof. Of course, once the Watch Detective solves the mystery, it's likely that the guilty party won't want to be brought to justice. Thus, it's also important for the Watch Detective to know the techniques of combat. So the requirements to become a Watch Detective. You have to be any non-evil. The following skills are needed to gain access to the class. Gather information at 4 ranks. Knowledge, any knowledge, 4 ranks. And search, 8 ranks. So search would be perception in Pathfinder. And I would reduce that down to 5 ranks for Pathfinder because the ranks work different from 3rd edition D&D to Pathfinder. In 3rd edition D&D, your first level character could start with 4 ranks in a class skill. So you need to have the track feat. And then special, the Watch Detective must honor the rule of evidence, see the sidebar. If he abandons this code, he loses all special abilities of the Prestige class until he retrains for 6 months under the local authority. So the rule of evidence, proof, not suspicion, is the only evidence that matters. A suspect may not be charged with a crime until unimpeachable evidence of his or her involvement has been uncovered, or a confession has been obtained. Unnecessary violence and the apprehension of a suspected criminal is not permitted. A suspect should be brought to justice rather than killed whenever possible. Seizure of a suspect's goods is not permitted unless such constitute evidence to be used in prosecuting that subject or another. Evidence gained by detection magic, psionic powers, or other magical or supernatural means must be backed up with either physical proof or uncoerced confession. Only concrete forms of evidence satisfy all members of a community. Interrogation of a suspect is not permitted unless he or she consents or is charged with a crime. Detention of a prisoner suspected of a crime is not permitted unless a specific charge has been made. Protection of the innocent takes precedence over apprehension of a suspected criminal. A Watch Detective may not knowingly commit crimes. Violation of these codes may result in the release of a suspect and or the dismissal of the Watch Detective. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Pretty much like a police officer code. If you level in this class, every level you get a D8 hit dice. You get 6 plus your intelligence modifier and skill points. The following skills are class skills: appraise, bluff, climb, craft, diplomacy, disable device, disguise, forgery, gather information, heal, hide, innuendo, intimidate, into direction, jump, knowledge any, listen, move silently, open lock, profession, ride, search, sense motive, spot, swim, and use rope. I'm really surprised wilderness lore is not on here if track is a prerequisite to this. Because that was the skill that the Rangers used to track with. So that would be the survival skill in Pathfinder. Now, you would condense this skill list if you're doing this in Pathfinder. Because you wouldn't need open lock. It's part of disabled device in Pathfinder. Listen, spot, and search are all the same skill, perception, in Pathfinder. Move silently and hide. Where is it? Yeah, move silently and hide is all stealth in Pathfinder. I don't think there's an innuendo skill in Pathfinder. It's essentially, innuendo was, you're talking about the weather, but what you're really talking about is like the heist you're getting into or whatever. So the skill list would just need to be condensed a little bit down to the actual Pathfinder skills. So after that, we got weapon and armor proficiency. Watch detectives are proficient with light armor and simple weapons. So if you're not proficient in armor, or you're not proficient in simple weapons at the beginning, you would gain these proficiencies. And if you have other proficiencies, they would apply, because you wouldn't lose those proficiencies in taking the prestige class. So let's look at the base attack bonus. Okay, the Watch Detective has the second best base attack bonus in the game. It's a +0 at first level, and by the time you make it to 10th level, it's a +7. So if you look at any rogue class or cleric, I think has the same attack rate as a rogue, where they don't start with a bonus and then follow it by their level, that would be the same progression. The Watch Detective's best save, at 2 best saves, is Reflex and Will. Just like any core class, it will start at a +2 at first level and end at a +7 for the best save of that class. The fort save is the worst save for this class. Starts at a +0. By the time you reach 10th level, it's a +3. So at first level, you get City Watch training. At second level, you get expertise and obsessive specialty profile. And at third level, you get cooperative interrogation and superior disarming. At fourth level, you get deductive augury once per day and skill synergy. At fifth level, you get no subdual penalty and sense secret doors. At sixth level, you get locate object. At seventh level, you get detect augury 2 per day and improved subdual damage. At 8th level, you get forensic. And at 9th level, you get discern lies and locate creature. At 10th level, you get detective augury 3 per day and instant knowledge. So, City Watch training. At first level, the Watch Detective gains +2 insight bonus on all listen, search, and sense motive and spot checks. So, +2 to perception checks and a +2 to sense motive. Expertise. At second level, the character gains the expertise feat, regardless of his intelligence score. Obsessive specialty. When the Watch Detective reaches second level, he obsessively seeks knowledge about a particular topic. Choose one knowledge skill for his specialty, and the character thereafter gains a bonus equal to his Watch Detective level on all knowledge checks of this sort. Excuse me. Profile. Also, at second level, the Watch Detective may compose an image of someone accused of a crime by making a successful gather information check, DC 15, when talking with a witness to a crime. The Watch Detective can gain a roughly accurate mental picture of the perpetrator, even if the witness did not see him or her. The character may, if desired, try to commit this image to paper using the craft painting skill. Either a verbal or visual depiction grants a +2 insight bonus on any further gather information checks made when dealing with the witness to the crime or persons acquainted with the perpetrator. Cooperative interrogation. At third level, when the Watch Detective succeeds in a bluff check against someone, he automatically grants any one other person a +4 circumstance bonus on one intimidate check against the same target for 1 round. When the watch detective succeeds in an intimidate check, he can give a similar +4 circumstance bonus on someone else's bluff check. So essentially it's the good cop, bad cop routine. One of them's acting like a friend with the bluff. The other one's acting like the bad cop with the intimidate. But that's pretty cool. Superior disarming. At 3rd level, the watch detective always considered armed when making a disarm attempt, and he gains a +4 bonus on any attack roll made to disarm an opponent. Deductive augury. The watch detective may ask for a hint to a mystery, puzzle, or trap. As a standard action, the player makes an assertion that can be true or untrue, such as the half-orc did it, or if I pull the red lever, the door will open. And the DM makes a secret percentile roll. Chance of success is 70 plus 1 per watch inspector level, watch detective level. So at most it'd be an 80% chance. If the roll is successful, the dungeon master gives the player a correct true or untrue answer to the assertion, though no reason needed to be given for why the response is correct. If the roll fails, the DM provides no information. The dungeon master is always free to determine that the watch detective doesn't have enough information to make an educated guess. But in this case, the attempt doesn't count against the allowed uses per day of the ability. The watch detective can use this ability once per day at 4th level. Thereafter, he gains 1 extra use per day for every 3 additional watch detective levels. Skill synergy. At 4th level, the watch detective may choose one of the following skill combinations: bluff, gather information, bluff diplomacy, climb, move silently, diplomacy, gather information, disguise, gather information, sense motive, hide / move silently, listen / read lips, listen / spot, sense motive / spot, spot / disable device, spot / open lock, or spot / search. If he has at least 5 ranks in both of the selected skills, he gets a +2 synergy bonus on checks involving both. So that's pretty cool. No subdual penalty. At 5th level, the watch detective can deal subdual damage with a weapon that deals normal damage without suffering a -4 penalty on attack. Sense secret doors. At 5th level or higher, the watch detective who merely passes within 5 feet of a secret door or concealed door is entitled to a search check to notice it, as if he were actively looking for it. An elven watch detective gains a +2 insight bonus on any of the search checks made to find a secret or concealed door. And a dwarf would get one dealing with stonework. Locate object. At 6th level, the watch detective can produce an effect identical to that of a locate object spell cast by a sorcerer of his watch detective level. Improved subdual. At 7th level, the watch detective adds his intelligence bonus on all subdual damage he deals whenever he makes an attack that can cause subdual damage only. So that's cool. I need to find a way to implement that with other classes. That'd be very entertaining to see more subdual damage being dealt out. Okay, so forensics. With a successful search check, DC 20, an 8th level or higher watch detective can discern the cause of death of any corpse he examines. Given time, he may take 20 on this roll. Success indicates that he knows what killed the person, the size, and approximate strength of any attacker responsible. Any other key information the DM wishes to impart. Discern lies. At 9th level, the watch detective can produce the effect identical to that of Discern Lies spell cast by a sorcerer of his watch detective level. This ability is usable once per day. Locate creature. At 9th level, the watch detective can produce an effect identical to that of Locate creature spell cast by a sorcerer of his watch detective level. This ability is usable once per day. Instant knowledge. Once per day, at 10th level, the watch detective may make an intelligence check, DC 20. He may not take 10 or 20 on this check. If successful, he gains a +10 insight bonus on 1 knowledge check of any category. If he has no ranks in that particular knowledge skill, he may make the check untrained. So kind of like a bard on that one. Cool. So far, everything the Watch Detective gets feels right, and there's something for just about every level. I feel like there needs to be something added to it. I'm trying to just figure out what it is. Because everything fits being the detective part, except for the fact you don't have a wilderness lore or a survival skill for the tracking feat. Because why is the tracking feat required if you don't have that? I'd say I'd probably just give him a few bonus feats and leave it as is. Give him a bonus feat every 3 levels. Or better yet, give him a bonus feat at 1st level, 6th level, and 8th level. The levels I picked were the ones where he only got one thing that level. And the bonus feats can be any fighter bonus feat. Well, that was the Watch Detective. Let me know what you all think about the Prestige class in the comments below. If there's any other changes you'd make to the class, let me also know that in the comments below. Until we all game again, guys.